Hi everyone. Today we're going to be talking about 4 different ways to find slope. So slope, again, is the directions in order to get from the y-intercept to every other point on a linear line, so a straight line. So let's start. First, you might be presented with 2 points on the line. In this case, I have -3, 5 and 4, 3. Now I'm going to find slope using the equation y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1. This would be something right away to put in your notes. Now that I have that, I am going to label my points. Every point has an x and a y point, or number I should say. So an x and a y. I see that my first number will always be x, and my last number will always be y. That's going to be the same thing over here, x and y. Just like in alphabetical order, x comes first. And then, since this is my first point right here, I am just going to place the number 1s right next to them. And over here, this is my second point, so here are my 2s. So I now have x1, y1, x2, and y2. Now that I have that, I'm just going to plug in what I know. I know that my y2 is 3. There's a subtraction sign in the middle, and then y1 is going to be 5. Now I'm going to do that again. I have 4 as my x2, and I'm going to subtract that from my x1, which is -3. I'm putting parentheses around -3 so that I know that there should be 2 negatives there, a subtraction and a negative that goes with the 3. Now I'm just going to solve. 3 minus 5. I can also consider this plus -5. 3 plus -5 to get -2. And then I'm going to do the same thing below. 4 minus -3. Again, if I change opposite, it is 4 plus 3 to get 7. And I have found my slope. So let's do this again. The equation again is y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1. I'm going to label my points. X comes first, y comes second. The first point is going to be my first, and the second point is going to be my 2's. Then plug in and solve. 7 minus 4, all divided by 2 minus -1. 7 minus 4 is going to be 3. And 2 minus -1 is the same as plus 1 to get 3. Now from here, I have a fraction of 3/3. I don't want to leave it like this because I know that I can simplify it. And I can simplify it by dividing the top and the bottom by the biggest factor, which is 3, to get 1 over 1. And that can be simplified to 1. So make sure that you are always, always, always simplifying your slope. Okay, so you can also discover slope from a chart. A chart will look similar to this. It has the x's on one side, the y's on the other, and the points are created by taking the x and the y together. So my first point I see right here is going to be 2, 4. My second point is going to be 4, 8. Then we have 612 and 816. But in order to find slope, I only need 2 points. So I'm going to use these two. From here, I'm going to use that same equation that I'd used before. y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1. Going to label x1, y1, x2, y2. And plug it in. 8 minus 4 all over 4 minus 2. 8 minus 4 is going to be 4. And 4 minus 2 is 2. Simplify in order to get the number 2. Next, I can find my slope in an equation. So as we've talked about before, slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. B is the y-intercept, but we don't need to worry about that one right now. What we're looking for is the slope. And slope in y-intercept form is always located in front of the x. And that means that in this equation, my slope is 2/3, because that is the number located in front of x. Now let's take a look on how to find slope on a graph. Looking on a graph, you want to find 2 points where 3 lines cross exactly. So if I look at this section right here of my, let's see if I can zoom in. This section right here, I have one line that goes across and one line that's diagonal, but no other line. So that can't be a point in which I put a dot. However, if I look right here, I can see one going side to side, up and down, and diagonal. So I am going to put a dot right there. I'm going to do that again. Taking a look closely, I see one line going down, up and down, side to side, and diagonal, all meeting up at this point right here. Now that I have 2 points, I'm going to be finding my slope. The first step is to go up. How many squares does it take to go up? And I'm going up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares. Now I'm going to go to the right. 1, 2, 3. This means that my slope is 5/3. The reason why it's 5/3 because in slope, this top number tells you to go up or down. We had to go up first. It's very important to start on the point that's furthest to the left. So I went up 5. Then I went right 3, and that is where my 3 came from. Let's try this one more time. Again, I'm going to find 2 points in which all 3 lines meet. So right here, I see up and down, side to side, and diagonal. That will give me a point right there. Another point that I see is right here, up and down, side to side, and diagonal, all meeting up right here. I'm going to start at my point furthest to the left. And in this case, I need to go down to get to my other point. So I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3 places. Now I'm going to go to the right, 1, 2. This means that my slope is 3/2. Again, I want to put my up and down direction number first. And then at the bottom is the amount we go to the right.